Hi everyone, and welcome back to our cart series. Now, in the last episode, I did hint that we are going to fix the spinning cart issue, or fix for that, but we're also going to add in the missile being launched from the cart itself. So let's jump in and take a look at how. So the spinning cart thing, rather than just tell you the solution, I'm going to tell you how I worked out the solution. There we go. So first of all, when I'm trying to debug something, I'm looking at things like what's happening when it's happening. So I noted that it was just the AI carts doing it, not me. So like I was able to go around corners just fine. I was able to play just fine. Every now and then these carts would do this, and the AI carts would only be the ones that do that. So that narrowed it down to a couple of things. It could only be something that the AI carts do only exclusive of what I'm doing. And because we're sharing the same actor, it kind of narrows it down even further. And so I looked at what the AI had going on. So it had acceleration and it had steering. And basically, I went through the acceleration first of all. So I went and had a look at where this was being used. And I just took off the throttle of just one. Okay, so I just took off the variable here and just hard coded a constant. And when I played this through, I would see that it would still happen. Actually, it's not going to do it now, but let's do it again. Okay, it's not good. But that's not the issue. The issue is let's go around the corner. Maybe they'll do it around the corner. Um, the issue is that they will still do that little spinning trick thing when going up in the air. I mean, it might be sort of fixing itself a little bit there with that, but essentially that wasn't the issue that I come across. The essential issue I came across, if I can actually get it. Yep, there you go. So it still happens even when acceleration is set to a constant. So I didn't think it was that. So then it came on to the steering. You see me doing my debug here, printing out what the steering was. And again, I did the same thing. I took out that, put in a value of 1, and watched it do it. And I noted that it was no longer having really any issues. Okay. And what I noted as well was that, okay, the steering seems to be the issue there. And I was going around looking at what it was. And that's when I started debugging this out to see what the steering values are. And I noted that they were going very, very high. So if we go up to here, you can see they start off quite low, but they're going really high. And that's what causes that spinning going on. So basically, we need to clamp that value. So plug it back in. And here we've got the calculation going on to work out how the AI should steer. And we're getting this value at the end here. And it's just exponentially getting higher and higher and higher. So we're going to clamp the value here between -10 and +10. And now they shouldn't have that same issue because you can see there the values in the top. Then the steering wheel's got a lock on it basically, so it's not infinite steering. And that was what's happening. It was just infinitely steering upwards so much it was just spinning in the air. Now we get a far more predictable outcome. This guy sometimes gets stuck still, but we'll deal with that in a minute. He still gets stuck a little bit sometimes, and that's just where he turns too early and gets stuck. But a lot better outcome. So that was the main issue, just clamping the steering in the cart there. And you may want to tweak these numbers, get it fine tuned however you want, but that's where you'd be. But anyway, the thing I wanted to go through today in particular was shooting this missile. So last time we worked on the missile actor. We got it tracing along the floor to detonate when it's going along the floor. So there it is, and if we simulate it, we can see it going up, follow the ramp, and then up in the air, and then detonating. Okay, so I want that to be shot from the cart point of view. So we got the cart being awarded an item here, and I want it to have an input now to send that item off into the air. So let's go ahead and go to our inputs. And we're going to create a new, put here, use item. And we're going to chuck that into our mappings. Really annoying when it does it. And then we'll make it do it with the E key. Okay. That. And then on the cart, we're going to go to the event graph and add the use item event. Okay, so the use item event is going to shoot off the item. So what we want to have happen is we want to send off a generic function call that all the items have access to. So we're going to go into our items and we want to go to the parent items. That one. And in here, we're just going to make an event or function that says use item. Okay, that's all. And close that. Now all those children will also have their use item. So on the missile, we've got on that stuff, we want its projectile movement here to not do anything. Okay, so initial speed can be set to 0. And we're going to go to functions over here on the left, override and use item. Be there. When we're doing this, we're overriding whatever the parent actor. And in here, we're just going to tell it to start firing off. So we're going to set the initial speed to 1000. We also are going to want to detach it. So the way this is going to work is when we hit the award item, we're going to spawn it on top of the player, but it's going to be hovering around them. And then we're going to detach them from the actor they're in. So we're going to keep their world positioning and rotation and scale, I guess. That. Okay, so we now need to spawn this in when we collect the item. So I am just going to go into award item. We're going to edit this thing. So award item, we're going to take the item we got here, and we're going to get the class that's inside of it. And we're going to do spawn actor from class. And there. Spawn transform will be the player's transform. Add a little bit more. So we're going to put it above their head almost. So we're going to do spawn transform, get actor transform, and actually what we'll do is we'll put in a ready position. Actually, we'll put a ready position up here above the cart, and then we'll make a firing position. So let's add a scene component to this. I'm going to select the body, pivot there. I'm going to add a component to it, a scene component. I'm going to do item ready. I'm just going to put that above there. And I'm going to do another scene component. Item fire forwards. And that one's going to go onto the cart there. Okay, so on the spawn actor here, we want to put it in with the item ready. Let's go to item ready. And we're going to do get world transform. And we want to always spawn it, ignore any collision. Now, when we spawn this in, we do want to take this return value and promote it to a variable. Call it current item ready. And then right at the start of this, we are going to want to use this variable to determine whether or not we can actually award an item to them. So we're going to do current item ready, get, and convert that to validated get. In fact, we actually don't need this item here. We can actually get rid of this variable. There we go. And custom item ready. If it's not valid, we'll spawn it in. Need this item then. Okay, so if we do pick up an item, we only want to ready the item if we actually have nothing in our hand. Okay, that's all that's doing. You may want to return saying, yes, so we were successful in returning. Yes, we got item. So is valid would be not successful and be successful. Okay, next up, we want to know who owns this actor. Put it in. So if we expand open the advanced options, the owner, we're going to plug in self. And that's going to be important because we want it to not collide with ourself. Want it to only collide with other players. So leave it like that. And then on the item itself, item missile, we want this sphere here to have no collision at the start or ignore the player collision. So I'm going to go to the parent actor because the sphere is part of the parent actor. It makes sense to do it all in the parent. And on the begin play, we'll take the sphere out and we're going to do ignore actor when moving. Put that onto play. And the actor we're going to ignore is our owner. Tick should ignore. That should mean that it won't collide with us at all until we take the shoot off. Okay. So we do that. That'll be done there. That'll be done there. So when we hit a ward item, it should spawn a missile above our head. So let me just take out this other missile we've got here. And we made it so that when we collide into these, a ward item, we need to give it the item contents. Just clear all the item contents, give it 1. The only missile for now. Of course, the AI will take 1. Oh, yeah, so you see it spawned a missile, but I forgot to attach it. Yeah, spawned it in, not attached. So let's attach it to the cart. So back to the cart, spawn actor. And we're going to attach actor component. The component will be our item. And we're going to snap the target. Keep it. Okay. So now when they collide through this, they should drive around with a missile above their heads. So we just now need to launch this missile. And that is going to be handled on the cart. So we've got that use item. And in here, we want to trigger that item going off. So on the started here, we're going to take out our item ready. We're going to check if it's valid. I don't want to do it if it's not valid at all. But only if it's valid, we actually have an item. We're going to tell the item to use its use item event. And when that's happened, I want to clear an item ready. Now, when we are using this, we probably want to move the missile to the front. So I'm going to make it to the item fire forwards scene. So when I do use item here, I'm going to move it to that location. So set actor location. Yeah, I should set actor transform. Set actor. Then we get the world transform of our component. So when we push the button, we're going to check to see if we actually have an item. Do great. Move it towards the fire forwards location. Use item. Use item, remember, is going to detach it and tell it to start moving forward. Then we're going to clear our current item. So we can pick up a new one. So let's go ahead and test this out. Hit E. Oh, we got stuck on the missile. But there you go. So I need to make the missile go a bit faster. I think I got drove over the top of it. So let's just go back to the car. Actually, let's go back to missile and set initial speed here to be 2000. Change the max speed here to 2000. And what I might do actually is make this a bit more interesting to look at. Let's make this a bit bigger. Okay, a bit more interesting. And we can shoot it off. Oh, back underneath me still. I think it's just getting caught. I think I have to move the forward thing a bit more forwards. On, go ahead. That on the cart here. Fire forwards. Let's move that a bit more. Still getting caught on me. Let's move it a bit more forwards. Down. Cart. Shouldn't do. That's quite far forward, isn't it? Move it a bit more up like that. I'll tell you what. I'll move it like this. Yeah, I think it's just I need to make it go faster. Okay, let's make it go faster. Do 5,000. I'm just saying how fast my cart is going. Obviously. There we go. You're not. But there we go. We got the missile shooting off. There you go. We got the missile shooting off from the character. Obviously, I didn't make it go fast enough. Like ever, but that's fine. We'll make it go faster and faster. Now, there are different types of missiles you can make. You can probably make ones at home. They can also make other ones do little tricks and make go fire backwards. In fact, I'm going to set you guys a challenge. I want you to see if you can, on your own, make it so you can determine whether or not you're shooting forwards or backwards. Okay? And you all give you a hint. You're going to use two scene components, and you're just going to make another variable as part of your data asset. Determine where this item will drop. But there'll be some items you drop behind you, and some items you drop in front of you. You figure out and see if you can figure out how you do that. Let us know in the comments if you should, and share it with the rest of the group. If you are completely stuck, just let us know, and I'll try and make it into another video down the line. So the next part, what we're going to do is we're going to make the AI shoot their missiles. So we're going to watch that over on patreon.com/Ryan Lely early before everyone else from just $1 a month. Get access to all our videos. But if you want to support the channel as well, you can head over to YouTube members, become a YouTube member, or just subscribe to the channel. It really does help out massively if you just subscribe. So massive thank you to everyone watching and everyone who's supporting the channel already over on Patreon. Thank you for watching. Make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.